guys, welcome to Kath and Mikey Make a Podcast. I'm Kat, and this is my co-host, Mikey.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but here we are.
Do you do you hear that Fisher? I'm sorry, Ray Fisher is his name?
Ray
Yes.
Fisher?
He isn't going to be Cyborg anymore. It's a bummer.
No. Stay quiet. I'm going to insert cricket noises here at this point.
Well, yeah, I think it's a bummer, at least. But good for him. It seems that Joss Whedon, he's he's not so good as everyone thought. Surprise! I mean, at least I didn't think he was as good as everyone thought.
I don't think
remember that back
I don't
when
think
he
anybody's really singing Joss Whedon's praises right now. I think you're a little behind on the Joss Whedon hate.
I'm not that behind. I don't know. Maybe I just feel like vindicated finally, but maybe I just wasn't talking to enough people.
Yeah.
That equally hated Joss Whedon. Maybe some of my friends, but I just thought
I
we were
mean,
alone in that bandwagon.
I loved Buffy. I love Angel.
Oh yeah.
It's like J.K. Rowling. Nobody can take Harry Potter away from me.
No one.
Joss Whedon didn't hate trans people either. He just cheated on his wife a whole bunch.
Yeah,
Everybody
and then blamed
does that.
it on the patriarchy. Isn't that awesome? When you can cheat on someone and then blame it on the patriarchy.
He did blame it on the patriarchy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But then again, I think that this doesn't really have to do with that, but at the same time it does.
No.
I think he's just a horrible human being.
Well,
there we
go.
But
I don't want that to be a mark against the patriarchy. I personally support it. I'm not biased. What are you writing?
Just making notes. Future reference.
Don't like that.
But anyway.
Episode 4, New Mutants.
New Mutants. Gosh, the things
Directed
we do.
by Joss Whedon.
No. No, I don't. No.
So
I just
smug.
don't remember.
You're so smug with your hate.
I don't
I'd
even
like to
remember
see
this.
him try and direct in Hollywood again.
Oh, he's gonna keep doing his stuff.
Yeah.
No one can. They seem to like him more than Ray Fisher.
So, it's weird that we actually got to see this movie after it was in development hell for like 60 years.
Yeah, it's been 84 years. But yeah, finally, and then just like Cyberpunk 2077, we're let down, I guess. It's a year of being let down. It was a year of being let down. I guess now it's 2021, but I don't see. Well, but 2020 was definitely a year of being let down.
There's still residual letdown effects happening.
Yeah. Still some media from 2020 to be consumed.
I'm reserving my judgment for Cyberpunk 2077. I'm pretending they haven't released it yet. And when they patch it, I'm going to be like, wow, what a great game.
So great.
Cool that you guys did this from the beginning.
Just going to pretend.
So yeah.
Close my eyes and pretend. Just like New Mutants.
New Mutants from 80 years ago. Shot in black and white. They colorized it. They redid the audio. Whoever did the dub on the southern accent needs to stop.
Gosh, what a horrible southern accent.
Southern accent. It's like he's trying to be understated, like quiet, like a Stranger Things character. He's just, kind of quiet, kind of awkward. Yeah. But the accent is from a cartoon character.
Definitely. It doesn't even feel like it's a Kentucky accent. It feels like it's a very general southern accent from someone that very much doesn't live in the United States and has never interacted with a southern person.
Yeah.
The actor, his last name Heaton, he's British.
British, yeah.
He's an English actor. So, yeah. But I don't think that's an excuse. Because I've seen many
Tom
English
Holland,
actors that do a very good...
Benedict Cumberbatch. Hugh Laurie.
Yeah. Tom Hiddleston.
When does he do it? Oh, yeah.
No, he's done...
I saw him in Kong Skull Island, because I only watch trash.
No, but he did another movie that I can't remember right now. It wasn't that famous, but he did, like, an American character, like, historical character. And apparently he did a good job. There's even an article somewhere from either the New Yorker or the Atlantic that talks about how English actors are taking over American roles.
Yeah.
But
Spider-Man used to be American.
Yeah.
Not the last two. Apparently all the cute boys are in London.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
London is the only place in Europe, I think. From what I know. From geography.
Geography class.
Geography.
You okay?
I know how to say it.
Do you need a ambulance? But I think we should just dive into New Mutants right now. And in general, I don't really have that much to say.
New Mutants dives into you.
No, it didn't. So, I don't.
Are you saying it didn't get under your skin?
It did not get under my skin.
Didn't rewrite your psyche?
No, I think it still is. It's probably, if you look at it in the Wikipedia page, it's like marketed as a superhero horror movie. But I get the superhero part. I don't get the horror movie part.
It didn't feel very horror at all.
Like, not even jump scares. Like, it wasn't, like, at least in bad horror movies or, like, you know, gore movies, you at least get the jump scare and, like, you're like, oh no, what?
The musical sting. It's like, and it's like, oh, you're scared now.
Yeah, but...
Somebody commented that jump scares like that with the musical sting are the horror movie equivalent to a laugh track in a sitcom.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Definitely. But not even that. Like, the monsters weren't that scary. They're even, like, more than anything, they look like high fantasy.
A lot of high fantasy. I mentioned Final Fantasy near the end of this movie. Mm-hmm. Like, when she's using, spoilers, by the way, when she's using that dope sword, Ileana, who I was sure I was going to hate at the beginning of this movie. But
and so she's like
ended up having the coolest things to do.
Yeah, the coolest powers. I guess she's still racist. I'm not, but
she's not very PC.
But
her and Joss Whedon are really chumming it up, right, Catherine?
Whatever, man. So not a horror movie. I guess a superhero movie. It's a mutant movie. It's not even a superhero movie. But then again, we can make the argument that many of the movies that aren't coming today aren't superhero movie because they don't really save people.
They don't really save people. It's just like sci-fi. Just cool sci-fi. I guess.
Just cool sci-fi that make it dark and it's horror, I guess.
Because at the end of this, I thought it wasn't bad. It was just bland. It was just really, really bland.
Yeah, that's exactly the impression I got. It was just a bland movie. The
only reason I would watch something like this is because of the sci-fi gimmick of superpowers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it just feels like a bland teenage drama.
Yeah.
That is trying to be edgy, and if I want that, I'll just go and watch Skins or Degrassi or something else.
Is Degrassi good?
No. I actually, I don't know. I remember, I have vague memories of it as a kid, and I'm sure that people that watched it back then thought it was good.
There are people who love it.
Yeah, it's one of those shows, really.
Yeah.
But start from the beginning, man. You can feel the excitement in my voice of reviewing this movie. It's one of those things where it's not even, I don't even feel excited talking about the movie. Sometimes there are movies that you're excited because you hate it so much. Like Mulan, I had to talk about it, or Aladdin, or there are many other movies that I've watched that I have to talk about them because I hate them so much. It's like, what did they do? Mm-hmm. They could have done so much better. But here...
Yeah. Well, you had an emotional attachment.
Yeah, also that. But here, Well, you could say I have an emotional attachment to,
Yeah,
to
but
comic book characters, but
these mutant movies don't feel like X-Men. To me, it's never
no.
really felt like X-Men.
No, it doesn't take me back to when I was watching the Exactly.
Nothing has made me feel
No.
like that from the movies.
I've been reaching that high ever since with these movies, and
You'll never catch the dragon, Catherine.
I guess I'll never catch it. Oh, Jesus. But
yeah, so bland, very very milquetoast. All the characters. That's I made a joke earlier how they had given them accents to like add.
Yeah, apparently that's a
characterization. Because what you see is what you get, and like that's true of the characters for the most part, and the way this movie was marketed. I mean, they were leaning a little hard on the horror element when to me that didn't really come into play. Like there were spooky designs, but
if you want to get spooked, watch the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer makes it seem a lot scarier. But well, then again, the trailer looked like an interesting superhero movie, but a bland horror movie.
Yeah,
and I'm not the first to say that.
There are so many parts where they could have gone
deeper.
I'm gonna go into the horror part. There were so many parts where you can do good horror by not showing the monster. That has been evidenced by many movies where you don't show the monster and you're afraid of the monster. And they could have done that. Like, for instance, I'm going to go more into a specific example. The scene where I think she's Wolfbane, I guess Rain, but the character is supposed to be Wolfbane. She's in the shower, and then it's supposed to be like the priest that branded her, like he looks like a cardinal. I don't know. Yeah. The priest that branded her is like coming in.
Yes.
That shot of the frosted glass and him walking by, that could have been scary on its own, and then do something else with that. And I don't know. It's just that showing the actual guy, or even like if they would have let it at that, and then just like a force that takes her up and down and like crashes her against the walls, and that would have been scarier than being like an actual guy. I'm gonna brand you like a witch.
Yeah, well, it didn't help that he came into the shower under really flat lighting, so it was like you could just see. Like, you're looking at his makeup like, oh, that's a decent prosthetic, looks fleshy.
Yeah, they could have made him scarier.
It's too exposed. Yeah, they could have made him scarier. He could have gotten up close to her, and his face is kind of like drooping, and he's like, like gurgling or something. Just, I don't know, play up the creep factor. It just felt very TV. Mm-hmm. Like they were referencing Buffy, and this... it felt like an episode of a TV show, like a lot of these
like a CW
recent
show.
Superhero movies.
I can't believe that a Marvel property fell so low. And we've already seen the ABC shows.
Have you seen X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Why must you mention that movie? I had forgotten that movie.
I need you to remember where we came from to appreciate where we are. This movie is not an X-Men Origins Wolverine. This movie is better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's, to me...
Really?
Oh, yeah. To me, that's my benchmark. It is the second worst Marvel movie.
Like, all the Marvel property.
Marvel Studios, I guess.
Oh.
But that's why I use it as a benchmark, because they're supposed to be the high bar. And this is one of their... like right before Endgame movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've watched it twice, and I hated it more the second time I watched it. It is so boring, and it's what we were talking about. It is that gimmick that gets you in. If he didn't turn small or turn cars small and do all this crazy sci-fi stuff, I would not give a shit about Ant-Man. It is so bland.
And it really doesn't move anything. The only thing that is important is the end credit scene.
Yeah, it's the only thing. Yeah, and it's the best part, too.
Yeah.
It's like kind of eerie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
it
really
just
doesn't matter.
It was a cool moment in the theater.
Yeah. It's a cool moment, but then it doesn't really matter for Endgame.
It does.
A little bit, but
he's the reason everybody got saved.
Oh right. Ah, yeah.
Quantum tunnel.
Yeah, the quantum tunnel.
Yeah. Well, really.
No, but I mean.
Really, that
only the fact that he survived is, and that he's in the quantum. Yeah, that's the only part. That
but the movie didn't.
Yeah.
No
okay.
effect,
Yeah, I'm talking about the movie in general. Doesn't matter. What matters
you mean the majority of it.
Yeah. The end credit scene matters, but this movie, I thought this movie was, at least with Ant-Man, there were some parts where I laughed or
that's true.
Felt not that laughing is important, but where I felt like entertained, like I was engaged, and I wasn't waiting for the movie to end
or to happen. I was waiting for the movie to happen.
Exactly.
It kept not happening,
and I kept forgetting that they had actual powers.
Taking their time as if they had another episode coming up, you know?
Yeah, it felt like that. You know how some shows, they're like, well, like the Teen Titans show? No, that one. The Titans. Sorry, they're not Teen Titans, they're Titans now.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Batman. No, fuck Batman, that's what he says.
See, this is why I bring up things like X-Men Origins Wolverine, because you acknowledge that show's existence.
Yeah. Well, it's only in response to your original acknowledgement.
When there's trouble, you know who to call. Teen Titans.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Moving on. Should we start from the beginning? Just ripping into it, see what we can find.
The opening was frantic. I didn't think it was bad. It was fine. For like the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, let's see where this goes. And then I wasn't minding it. And then it... yeah.
And then she's somewhere else. She's in the institution.
I liked that transition, too.
Oh.
Where she hits her head, and then she opens her eyes, and she's in the institution.
Yeah.
I thought that was good editing.
Well,
you disagree?
No, it's the only piece of good editing you'll find in this movie.
Oh, come on. That's so harsh.
No, but I don't know. I thought a lot of the editing was a little harsh.
You did point out one part that was definitely a weird.
Yeah, but that was the one part where I was like, I have to go back and see this. See if I'm not part of...
It's when one of those smiley guys was chasing Ileana and Trucker Boy. Down the hall.
He's not Trucker Boy. He's Kentucky Boy.
He's
Kentucky. We're gonna call him Kentucky.
Cannonball Fried Chicken. What is his superhero name?
Cannonball.
Cannonball?
Yeah, he's Cannonball.
Okay.
You don't remember when Rain says he's going around like a cannonball?
Yeah, but they never said about the other kid. He's the light of my life. He's like a sunspot. Have you ever tried this herb? It's wolf's bane. Wink.
No, thank God they didn't do that with the other characters.
And Ileana was like, I'm Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about the Russian accent.
The smiley person was chasing them down the hall, and it goes out the door, and it's pretty much right behind them, and then it does a cut, and where the monster should be, there's just nothing, and they're further down the hall.
Yeah, just running away. It's very weird.
It was a weird moment.
I saw different instances of the editing was just like not as smooth. And if it was like, I don't know, like a TV show on CW, I wouldn't care. Not that I care anyway. But this is a movie that took a lot of time in the making, so
took a lot
most
of time.
Most of these things or the faults of this movie are more surprising because it took so long to come out. Mm-hmm. And it was very underwhelming.
The faults of this movie, it's the writing.
Mostly, yeah.
It's underwritten.
Because I don't know if a lot of people haven't read a lot of reviews, but some people might be like, "Oh, not enough action." The problem isn't that there isn't enough action.
No, it wasn't.
My problem was
meat. There was no meat to it.
Yeah, they were very two-dimensional characters. Like you said, what you see is what you get.
Exactly.
And
that's what I was getting to. Like, it's all frosting. There's no cake.
No cake, and I hate frosting.
I fucking hate frosting.
I do not enjoy frosting at all, except when it's cream cheese.
Except when Ileana pulls out a dope sword.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's the most cool-looking character.
Visually striking.
Yeah, definitely.
And the little dragon on her, like, I don't know who this character is or what she's about, but I'm into it.
Yeah, you mean Lockheed?
Lockhead? No, not...
Lockhead, is it? Or I don't...
Is that her full name? I thought that was just the name of the little dragon.
No, it's the name of the little dragon, definitely. Yeah. Her full name is, I think she's supposed to be Magic. That's how it's called.
Oh, like with a K?
The X-Men with a K, Magic. Yeah.
Oh, so she did have that moment where she was like, so am I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did have that moment.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we, some kind of magic?
No, what? No, they say that it's magic. He's like, so am I.
No, it's Suicide Squad reference.
Oh,
you wouldn't know. It's something
sorry.
called True Cinema.
Okay.
Ask Martin Scorsese.
He'll tell you. In his master class.
I give Margot Robbie 2 thumbs up as Harlequin. Where's my money?
Where's the money now? I do have a question where she wakes up and it's so stupid that they tie her to a bed that can easily be moved around. I don't know if they're not trying to show that she's very strong. I don't think so.
I mean,
she's just like tied to the bed and moving it around. Like, where am I?
In this facility.
No, I guess they don't have any staff. It's just Reyes.
No staff. A very underfunded Essex division. Yeah, where is the hospital staff? Why are they the only mutants in this huge facility? Why is the church empty? Can we talk about any of this?
I didn't comment on it while I was watching it, or I didn't
wrote it down.
No, I didn't write any of it because I was like, okay, let me be patient with this movie. Maybe I just felt very lost.
It took
the movie,
a
nothing
long
happened.
Time to find its footing. Like, we were in the halfway point. We were asking, like, okay, what is are they trying to get out? Not really, because they're not. No. They're not trying to escape, and it's not made clear how powerful their confinement is or how it works. Apparently, it's Reyes, but she falls asleep and somehow still maintains.
Not even falls asleep
the
because
force field.
At least I would understand that at least when you fall asleep, you're still in control somehow. But she was spiked, like
she was spiked.
So she wasn't in control of her body.
Makes no sense.
Like, does the power still work? Like, so many things are left unexplained.
I did want to point out that I don't think they really needed to dive that deeply into Essex besides what they did find out, which was, okay, we're being raised to be murderers, basically. This is just a corporation that funds people like this to raise mutants as killers. So that's, for the purposes of this story, I feel like that's all we really needed to know.
I don't really care for this movie.
Yeah, no, it kind of gives you that feeling. I remember when we sat down after the halfway point, it was just kind of like, press play.
All right. Back in it.
So, yeah, we're jumping all over the place.
Yeah, we are. I just felt like I wasted my time with
Buffy.
This movie. Oh.
Exclamation mark. They reference Buffy. It's on the TV.
Yeah, because monsters and teenagers and metaphors.
Metaphors? What do you mean? Does that bear stand for something?
No, I did.
Is Rain gay?
I just questioned myself if mutant in this case was like a metaphor for mental illness, Like, like usually mutant in some comics and some of the shows and movies,
they're vehicles for marginalized
marginalized people and like like LGBTQ, not being accepted by your parents. Your parents throw you out, or they ask you like, can you just not be a mutant, kind of questions. Not very subtle there, and not very subtle here. I thought that it was a metaphor for mental illness in some way.
Yeah.
Because they're in a mental hospital. Again, not very subtle here. But, and it's a good idea. It could have been a good idea of mental illness in teenagers. But, again, they didn't really go forward with it.
So what's the resolution to that then, if it's for mental illness? Like, because they all learned to control their powers in the end? And not be afraid of them. So is that like you're not crazy, you're just special?
Like in Legion?
Like people are yeah. People are going to be afraid of you. But it's not that you're bad, it's just your brilliance. The world's not ready for your brilliance.
That could have been where the story led. You know, that could have been, but it isn't, really. It wasn't clear if that's where they're going.
It's like everything else, it's sort of half-assed.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's the conclusion we should get to. That everything, it feels like there's so many ideas that could have happened. I feel like I can now go back to that Essex. Maybe I didn't want more information on Essex or them to give us more, but it feels like it feels like they wanted us to have an idea or like show us something familiar that we have seen before, at least for the people that had seen it.
Like it was framed as, oh, this is going to blow your mind.
Yeah, but at the same time I was
get that sense, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Again, maybe that's the word I was looking for. Half-assed.
I know
Everything
exactly what you mean.
feels half-assed. Nothing feels like it's going anywhere, or it feels like many ideas they might have led somewhere, but they're not. And
I feel like this really is a good premise. And I like the idea of New Mutants being unstable and ruining their family lives. I think that's really interesting. But they just did not take it anywhere. They just paid lip service to everything. Mm-hmm. And put the characters in situations where, like that scene where they're all supposed to be bonding, it's like they're showing them laughing and stuff and having fun and playing music in the background, but they never really spent enough time with them bonding. It was so short that you never got to feel the connection between these characters. Most of all, you felt it between Maisie Williams and Danny. I don't know the actress's name. And neither of them were bad.
No,
but it's just like everybody else sort of got shafted. And so the ending does not feel very meaningful at all because I don't care about anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel like I don't care about what happens to any of these characters. Yeah. Like one of them could have died and I would have been like, okay, I guess not coming back.
Like El Diablo in Suicide Squad. Oh. Anyways.
That's sad.
Now that's a bad movie.
Bad.
Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. That's on another level.
Yeah, wow.
Like, see, this wasn't that. It was at least trying to be a movie. You have to give that to all the X-Men movies, like good or bad, they're all trying to be a movie.
Yeah, at the very least, they have aspirations.
They have aspirations, to be and they just don't always. I think they have more misses than hits. Mm-hmm. It's so inconsistent in terms of how their quality.
Yeah.
And then you add that Deadpool is a part of them.
To what? Oh, to the X-Men movies?
Yeah, to the X-Men movies.
Yeah, it
feels like such a weird outlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's such a weird outlier that they're probably just going to plop him in the Marvel universe and everybody's going to go, okay.
Okay. And there's going to be a fourth wall break about how he changed from Fox to...
And how he can't curse because he's in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool's so funny.
But actually, I would watch that.
No, for sure.
Definitely. Making buddies with Tom Holland.
We make fun of it, and then I come out of the theater and I'm like, Ryan Reynolds showed up, I'm crying.
Crying. Put it on Twitter.
I don't have Twitter. That's a lie. I made one in like 2012 to follow Matthew Perry. Apparently he's not a very nice guy in real life.
Never meet your heroes.
But then again, Louis C.K. said that. This is a mess.
Hot mess. Like this movie. This movie is a hot mess.
I expected it to be a hotter mess. It's like a cold mess. It's like a... It's just like it's aired out. I don't know. It's not a steaming pile. It's just a pile.
It's like garbage, but not like a dumpster fire.
It doesn't smell bad. It's just like you need to throw it out.
Yeah, and that's it. But it's not like burning, and also there's like the smell and...
Just some bits and bobs I found on the floor. It's like the arm of a broken action figure. You know, that's something in there.
Mm-hmm.
The cotton ball that I don't know what's on it. It's not like blood, but you know, I'm not gonna take any chances. Where are we?
No, I was just letting you finish the whatever I forgot what the metaphor was about.
You can interrupt me at any time. I
know. I was just... It's like when you see someone falling down the stairs, you could run and stop them from falling, but do you want to? Depends.
Yes. Really.
Well,
What the fuck? I'm sorry?
At least when it's a video. You know, when you see
Who took
someone...
the video, Catherine?
Why did you take the video?
Do I want to record this or save their life? I already pressed record. And it is funny.
It's gonna get 1 million likes.
Uh-oh, I don't think they're getting up. Get the fuck out of here.
I do have something to say. What is it with superhero movies and cloud monsters? Just a question, really.
Oh, is the bear a cloud monster? It is.
In the beginning, it's like a cloud monster. Again.
It's like Lost.
Not even Lost. I was thinking about Green Lantern.
Fantastic
has a cloud monster.
Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer has a cloud monster.
Yeah.
Why? Is it easier to
do clouds?
Animate or something?
Oh,
you know,
than like a Thanos? Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's way easier to do clouds.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but well, I mean, it is a bear, but I guess, you know, it gives you
later
room.
on it becomes a bear, but I guess I wrote that down when it was like mid-movie and there was like a cloud coming.
Like you didn't know what it was about yet. But I think it gives you wiggle room to make the bear not totally realistic, you know, when it's got a smoky effect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's supposed to be like a dream bear, so this movie's kind of weird.
Yeah, everything's weird. Nothing makes sense.
Mutations are magic. They just are.
It just feels like, yeah, again, it feels like it's all over the place.
Oh, really? Like a change in your DNA sequence allows you to break through a dimension and form a metal arm and like summon a dragon? Evolution.
What?
That was my Patrick Stewart impression.
Oh, okay.
Evolution. The next step. I don't remember his monologue at the beginning of X-Men. So long ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah, this is the end of the Bryan Singer X-Men universe.
Oh, right. This is the end. Like, no more movies. That's true.
Yeah, there was a Logan. It was like, this feels like finality. Then there was Dark Phoenix, which I did not watch. which is apparently not good.
I thought I was in.
And now this is the real ending. What's going on over there? She's dancing.
Yeah, I thought it would be a nice addition.
So, yeah, also I wanted to bring up earlier in the movie when Rain was on the clock tower with
Danny? Danny Moonstar.
Danny Moonstar?
Yeah, that's her last name.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah, her X-Men name is like Mirage.
I thought that was like a tender moment that they were having.
And then they ruined it.
And then they ruined it with the total cliche that was unnecessary because it didn't even look like the fall was that hard. But they fall down next to each other and they do that thing where they look at each other.
Like they do in the rest of the movie?
Are we in love? Yeah, there's no obstacles to this relationship. Like you said, it's ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die. It's okay.
Even when
this is something else that kind of bothered me from the movie. There's we already said that you really don't care about the characters at the end.
No.
But it's precisely because they don't really build up any of this. Nope. Any relationships. It's just everything just is. Even the suicide part, or like when she was probably like attempting suicide, even that didn't feel.
It didn't feel real.
It didn't feel real. Didn't feel like she was actually gonna jump.
Magic being a dick at the beginning. I even wrote down like, okay, I sense a character arc.
Yeah,
but everything's you already know where it's going.
Everything's predictable.
Everything's predictable.
But sometimes things are predictable, and you still want to know how they do it, and it was predictably underwhelming.
I was a little surprised that Dr. Reyes, didn't change her mind, because it looked like she was concerned a bit for Danny, and I thought she was going to be like, okay, I have to get you guys out of here. Oh. And I thought there was going to be a bigger threat. You know what I mean? Because it just seemed like she was sympathetic, but by the end, she was just like, no, she has to die. Yeah. Pew, pew. Danny has to die, and all of you are just going to have to be chill with that, even though you could gang up on me at any time and destroy me. Like, regardless of the giant bear.
It made no sense.
Ileana can cut my legs off, and then Sunspot can set me on fire, and Cannonball can explode my head.
Yeah.
Done. And then Rain will eat the remains.
Yeah, the choices that character makes make no sense.
Oh, when she's about to kill her, and she's just like, as a vet, I used to euthanize a lot of dogs. Could you lie down, please, by the way?
Shut the fuck up. She talks so... Her dialogues... I know they were supposed to be, like, deep and, like, she's talking about rattlesnakes because the New Mutants are like rattlesnakes. But
the babies can't control their venom.
Ugh.
It's so on the nose.
Yeah, everything's on the nose. Yeah. Everything is on the nose. Also, I guess this movie doesn't trust you to remember the beginning. Even though it's, like, probably the most memorable thing until the final fight. Because it's so, like, loud.
Are you talking about the narration?
Yeah, they show you the beginning. And then again, they show you...
10 minutes in.
10 minutes in, they're already showing you flashback to the beginning. And then she's asking her again when she sedated her about what happened in the beginning. And then again, the end, they say the same thing they said in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, here's a hot fix for you. For the bear thing with the narration and how at the end she's like, it depends on the one you feed. What if during that bonding scene that they were all having, they were telling like ghost stories, like campfire stories, and she told the one about the evil bear, and she ended it with like, it depends on the one you feed, and everyone's kind of like, oh, that's kind of deep. And at the end, instead of narrating, they just trust the audience to remember, oh, she's feeding the good bear. Oh.
Yeah, instead of that, it could have been ghost stories instead of those stories of like, I killed my dad.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I killed 18 men.
All of you killed
Yeah,
people.
you are all dangerous. We don't...
As soon as that guy looked at a picture of a girl, I was like, okay, he killed his girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's nothing to
no
it.
Surprise.
There's nothing
no
to
surprise to any of this. Even I did think that it was cool. Like what I understood was that Ileana is a sex trafficking victim.
Oh.
That's what I got. Like they were hurting her, all these men.
They were making her cry, and
they made them smile.
Yeah.
I thought that she was like a sex trafficking victim until she escaped. And that's the only thing that I found like, oh, that was kind of cool how they make if that's the case, it was kind of cool how they put it in the...
Wouldn't a movie where she's like fighting those dudes with a sword be sick?
Yeah.
Or just like a short, like a 20-minute episode of her taking these people. It would be cool.
Yeah.
Because I thought those designs were cool, and we already mentioned how her design is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted more of that, man.
Yeah,
like
but
when she fought a giant bear.
Yeah.
So fancy.
So fancy. So high fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say about this movie?
I expected nothing, yet I'm still disappointed.
I liked it a little better than I thought I would, but it's not very good.
No. I didn't get a superhero movie. I didn't get a horror movie. I just got something.
The two things that it promised.
Yeah, it promised a movie. We got that.
That's true. I mean, it felt pretty superhero-y at the end. Just like, I don't care.
Yeah. It just feels like there was no love given to this movie.
I don't feel that. I don't feel like there was no heart in it like I do with some movies. I just felt like they needed to work a little harder on it. Like I said, it's underwritten. Like they wanted to do something cool. The bones of something cool is there.
Under-edited.
They just didn't give it nourishment.
No.
Yeah.
Just threw it in the street. Go fly, little bird.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd give it a 4 out of 10 for Ileana and Maisie Williams. I enjoyed her acting in this.
Yeah, I would give it a 3.5 or a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no heart. I'm giving this review as little heart as they gave this. I wish I had something more to say about this movie, but I was...
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. This is over.
Put it behind you. Next week, I think we're going to be watching a movie that
we
actually
good?
like, I expect. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. See you next time.
That was Kath and Mikey Make a Podcast, episode 4, where the production values keep getting higher and the view count keeps getting lower. Are these numbers right? Never making our money back. Please join us for episode 5 when we talk about The Wailing, a Korean horror film that I know virtually nothing about, except that maybe it's kind of good. So, we'll see.